In last video, we discussed about the moon in the third house of the horoscope. In this video, we are going to talk about what happens when you have Mercury in the third house of your horoscope. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You will be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. And these videos will help you go further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you are not following me on Instagram, well, this is my ID. Go follow me on Instagram at Pramanik Astrology. If you have any question, direct message me on Instagram. I read all the DMs and I reply to all the DMs. Okay, if you have any question or query, post your comment to the relevant comment section of the videos on my YouTube channel. I read all the comments and I try to reply to almost all the comments. If you are looking for readings and consultations, check out the link into the description section and go for the complete horoscope analysis. Or if you are just looking for a PDF report, you can go for the option number 1. So Mercury in the third house of the horoscope. What is Mercury? The first word or first thing which comes to my mind when I think of Mercury is intellect. Mercury is your intellectual powers. Sun is your soul, moon is your mind or manas, and Mercury is the significator for your intellect. Mercury is very good with communication. Mercury also represents the balance. Okay, if you look at the gender of the Mercury, it is neither a male sign or a masculine like a Mars, or a feminine, a complete feminine like Venus. It has the mixture or blend of both the realms. Like it is also feminine and it is also masculine. So this balance can also be seen or signified by the Mercury. So Mercury is also about the business. What is Mercury? When there is an exchange of goods and services or ideas, whatever it may be. Whenever there is an exchange, Mercury does very good job there. So trade, commerce and business, Mercury rules and signifies these things. Mercury is also about the youthfulness. Mercury is that prince in the celestial cabinet. Sun is the king, moon is the queen, and guess what? Mercury is the prince. So he's a very happy, young, outgoing, and a person who is ready to make new friendships, make new connections, or just create or network their business. Mercury is also about the communication. Mercury is very good with communication. The Mercury also signifies the processing of the information. If you look at the sign of Virgo, the 6th house or the Virgo, it is the most organized sign. It is the most organized zodiac sign of the zodiac belt. Okay, this is because of the Mercury. Mercury is very organized. Okay, Mercury has 2 signs, Gemini and Virgo. So you can see what exactly Mercury is all about if you look at these 2 rashis. Okay, now let us move on to the third house. What is third house? Third house is the first Kama Trikona house. Third house is all about your inner feelings. Third house is all about the things which you love to do. It is all about your hobbies. Third house is also the house of short distance travels. Third house is near to ascendant. So the third house represents short distance travel. 9th house represents long distance travel, and 12th house represents the longest journeys possible. Okay, so we are talking about the third house. So third house is about the short distance travel. Third house is also the house of your skills. Third house is also the house of skills. Third house is the house of purushartha or courage. Third house is the house of strength. Third house is the house of ambition. Third house is the house of your younger siblings. Third house is the house of your competitive spirit. So let us discuss what is the effect when we have Mercury conjunct the third house energy. What happens when we have Mercury into the third house of your horoscope? Okay, so what is the third house? Third house is the house of your communication. And what is Mercury? Mercury is very good with languages and words in general. So when Mercury is into the third house, it does great job with respect to the communication signification of the third house. So Mercury loves third house for its communicative skills. So the person with the Mercury in the third house is very good with the words. When the person in the third house, Mercury, communicate with somebody, the person who is listening to this loves hearing to his communication, and most of the times he is convinced that he is speaking the truth and he is talking about the best interest of the person who is listening to him. Third house is the house of your independent nature. Okay, and when Mercury comes in here, what is Mercury? Mercury is the planet of networking. Mercury likes to network with people. Mercury doesn't like to be alone because he is young, energetic, youthful, and now he wants to connect with people. But third house is all about the self effort. It is not about the networking. Third house is about your self effort. So Mercury kind of feels uncomfortable in third house due to the independent nature of the third house. Due to the independent signification of the third house, Mercury doesn't feel at home in the third house. For communication, he loves being in third house. But when it comes to the independent nature of the third house, he feels kind of uncomfortable here. Third house is the house of skills, and Mercury is about the intellect. Okay, the third house is the house of your skills, and Mercury is the planet of your intellectual side. So what happens when a planet of intellect comes into the house of skills? Okay, it makes one a very skillful person. The person with the Mercury in the third house will be a very versatile person, will be a person having knowledge in vast areas. Okay, so Mercury does well in the third house and it makes one skillful. The person with the Mercury in the third house can be a dancer, can be an actor, can be an orator, can be a painter, can be a person with any kind of skills. And guess what? Mercury doesn't do anything for charity. Mercury is a shrewd businessman. So whatever skills he has, he will use it for his own benefit. He will try to, create business out of it. Third house is also the house of the courage or competition. And Mercury is all about connecting with people, networking with people, and business. So Mercury feels uncomfortable in third house due to this signification of the third house. So third house, apart from being independent, third house is also about the strength, is also about the competition. So these people, and Mercury likes to connect with the people. He doesn't like competition because he is very shrewd. He avoids the competition and he avoids the enemies. Instead, he connects with people and network and increase his influence. That's what the strategy of Mercury. Mercury never, takes anybody up front. He's very shrewd. So this is kind of a clash between these two significations. So Mercury doesn't feel at home in third house due to this. Third house is also the house of the instructions. Third house is about the instructions, or you can say the training. So the person with the Mercury in the third house is very good at learning new skills, because learning new skills, what it requires to learn new skills, you have to analyze lots of rules, and you have to analyze the you have to really grasp the training which you will receive. Okay, suppose you are learning astrology, you have to understand what is rashis, what is houses, what is planets, their rise, their fall, ascendant, houses, bhavad bhavam, dasha, nakshatra, and so many other things to consider. Okay, but if you are a person with the Mercury in the third house, you are very good at learning multiple things at a time, and you are good at learning the rules and applying them parallelly. So whenever there is a set of instruction, the person with the Mercury in the third house does extremely good job. He likes to work at that level. So Mercury feels very comfortable for this signification of the third house. Okay. So yes, let us summarize what is Mercury in the third house. Mercury in the third house is very comfortable. Mercury likes to be in the third house for being vocal, communicative, and sharing what it has. Third house is also the house of air element, which resonates with the intellect of the Mercury. Mercury is also about the business, and third house is also about the self effort. So there are many things which we can see which resonates with the third house and the Mercury. And yes, Mercury loves to be in the third house. So yes, this was Mercury in the third house, as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.